that we've given you so far this season to kick things off. Wherever that person. There we go.
The combat was fierce and endured for centuries. In the beginning, I fought alongside one whom I considered a brother. But in war, ideals can be corrupted. And it was thus that Megatron lost his way. And I send this message. Though we did not choose to be of Earth, it would seem that we are here to stay. If you approach this planet with hostile intent, know this. We will defend ourselves. We will defend humanity. We will defend our home.
Yes, we should. Brian Tyler.
We would call his voice into space and actually say that to aliens.
We should. Well, let me introduce our awesome panel today. We have executive producer Bob Dorsey. Line producer Therese Trujillo. Executive producer Jeff Klein. Supervising director and zombie lover Dave Hartman. Story editor Dwight Capizzi. Character designer Jose Lopez. And one of our awesome directors, Vincent Hoyt. So to start things off, I just wanted to, we're going to talk a little bit about what we've done to get here so far with Transformers Prime, now that you guys have seen it and thankfully love it. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what we have in store for the rest of Season 1 and the beginnings of Season 2. And we'll do questions, the normal thing you do at a Comic-Con panel. So first, we'll start with Bob. You're kind of like the geek guy. In the good way, it's Comic-Con.
Thanks.
Yeah. With Fringe, with Star Trek, now with Transformers, the live-action movies, Transformers Prime. What's different in the animated series? Like, what was the adjustment going to animation? Was it more expensive? Was it more confining? Was it just a completely different thing? Like, what was the process like for you?
For me, it was seamless because thanks to the movies, we were able to attract everyone to the left of me who really has done most of the hard work. So for us, it was just storytelling again. You all made it possible for us to just make it possible to tell the stories we want to tell. And in the movies, you can't spend as much time with Transformers because they're so expensive. You can't spend as much time with the title characters. It's harder to follow them as an arc. So I found it free. I know none of you found it free. I thought all of you found it enslaving. For me, it was like, wow. We get to actually, we get to spend time with Optimus Prime. We get to spend time with the people we want to spend time with. So for me, it was a chance to do the things that I didn't feel we could do in the movies. So, thanks, guys.
Well, and actually, Jeff, I have been in many meetings with you where you've talked about this, but I think maybe you should tell everybody what the insane process of getting Transformers Prime on TV in under a year actually involves, as you are so fond of telling everyone at Hasbro.
How long do I have?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Let's see. I sat down with Bob and Alex in August of '09. And in talking to them, it became very clear that they wanted, if they were going to do the series, they were going to do it right, and they were going to try to raise the bar. So that got me interested. 3 weeks later, I was back in Los Angeles for my first meeting with the Hasbro people, Brian Golden, the studio people, Steve Davis. It was the first big meeting where we're all going to talk creatively. And again, there, Brian Golden really raised the bar and talked about what he really wanted in the series. So that was about 3 weeks' time. What I learned in that meeting, so right before the one person I called was Tears to Deal. We've worked together off and on for 20 years or more. And quite honestly, I just figured if I was going to do this, I couldn't do it without her. So she came on board right away, knowing very little. Went to the meeting with the big group and learned that they wanted the show to premiere as close to the Hub's premiere as possible, which was a little bit more than a year away. Which is about half the time of almost any other CG show's production cycle. And oh, by the way, we were trying to do the most complicated CG show ever tried for television, because every character isn't just a character, it's actually 3 characters. We have to build the bot, the vehicle, and the transformation. So you're talking about a huge show. That was the exact moment where I thought Teresa's going to kill me. But I thought, okay, well, you know what? I'll go check out Hasbro Studios. There's a Hasbro Studios. There's actually a number of executives whose names I recognized. Mike Gold will be one of them. We're working there. So at least we'll just we'll move into the process they've already set up. And that's what I call Dave Hartman and Mike Capisi. Again, we've all worked together off and on over the years. Both these guys were on other things, but made themselves available pretty quickly to come on board our show. And when we went to check out Hasbro Studios, we learned, in fact, it was not really Hasbro Studios.
Just wrap it up.
There was only Mike Gold.
And what I mean by that is there were no offices, there were no desks, there was no paper, there were no computers, there was no payroll, there was no union contract. So in addition to the other stuff Therese really had to do, we also had to kind of start up a full-blown in-house 60 to 70 people studio, including finding a partner studio, which ended up being Polygon, which we're all thrilled about. And I will tell you that everybody up here, Jose came aboard next, Vince Toyama came aboard next. For the first probably month or more, we were working out of Bob and Alex's lobby.
Not lobby, we had a conference room.
Lobby?
A conference room with a table.
It was like a nightstand.
It had a table. And there was food.
There was food. And we would spend most of the day just sitting in rooms breaking story, trying to figure out what do we want this to be, while these guys would start noodling on design stuff. I may have said this before, but I'm going to say it again. There's no way this show happens without the core group you see here and another core group sitting down, especially because, honest to God, no one got paid for a couple of months while we figured out how to do payroll.
I did.
How it was all going.
I didn't get it.
So these guys really did sort of go so far above and beyond to help not only launch a show, but launch an entire studio. For that, I am eternally grateful to you all. So thank you.
All of Hasbro is really great. No, I just want to say the best thing that can happen when you're working on a show like this is to actually have an entire crew of geeks and fanboys. And what Jeff says, right, like everyone who came on the show did this for their love of the brand, for their love of the toys, for their love of Transformers, and just the passion that they put into it in those early days when we were figuring everything out was really amazing, and I mean, it really shows on the screen.
By the way, we're still figuring stuff out.
We'll figure stuff out after this panel.
So there's a different level of acting.
So, well, I mean, you talked about Dave and Dwayne coming on. So, what was it? I mean, he said you guys were somewhere else. You came over. What was it about Transformers? What was it about working on a show like this that drew you guys to Hasbro
Just
Studios?
working with me again, right? Was that what it was? Of course it was.
For me, it was robots. For Dave, zombies.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know about zombies yet. Yeah, I mean, it was Transformers. I grew up with that. It's one of the coolest things. I actually just got off of doing Winnie the Pooh with Jeff.
Another awesome action show.
They had zombies too. Really weird.
Zombies in 100 Acre Wood.
You know, I made up so many stories as a kid with Transformer toys and all that. I mean, now I'm like, someone's offering me a paycheck to do the same thing. I was like, oh yeah, of course I'm going to do this. And it was cute.
It was just a long time there was actually no concrete picture.
I know, but of course I told her, oh, we're the Transformers. I hope he means it.
And so just so everybody knows, you guys do like zombie robots, yes? This is the man to thank, so you come up and thank him for it.
Actually, Dwayne,
Was it?
Yes. Dwayne, I think knows them. He knows. He likes zombies.
I basically was zombies immediately. I was like, what about this? I knew he would. So,
Yeah.
Well, and Dwayne, a good question.
There we go.
A good question for you. So, I mean, like, there's this expansive universe. I mean, as we saw in the panel before, I mean, there's all these different versions, all these different iterations. With all of that to play with, and where did you even begin in the story process, figuring out which robots you were going to use, what the story was you guys were going to tell?
It wasn't easy. It was a complicated process, but you know, we confer with Brand a lot and find out wish lists and it's
Meaning, which toy sells the best? No.
fan favorites. Come on. No, there was certainly the characters who had to be in the show. There were other characters that we couldn't for some reason or another, but sometimes we would come to you guys with an idea of a type of character we want to do, and they would supply the best fit, and vice versa. It's really a two-way street or by-way street. Everybody involved here. So.
Actually, let me second that for just a second, which is the only way to get the show done in the timeline we did and continue to do is if everybody's sort of running in the same direction. So the Transformers universe is huge. It's 25 to 30 years of mythology. There's lots of places you can go, but at every step, Rand, Ray Parker's in the hub, everybody was actually on the same page trying to get the same thing done. We didn't always agree, but we always found a middle ground, and that's the only way the show happened.
And we continue to.
Well, I think another big way the show happened is Ms. Therese Trujillo right here. Therese, why don't you explain to everybody what your role as line producer slash mother of the crew slash everything else is?
I think I paid really well to make that money, don't I? Job as a line producer, I'm the person that at the very beginning I meet with the executives and the executive producers and the key team to come up with a budget, come up with the schedule that everybody anticipates in order to get the work done so that people have a good quality of life, they're not working all hours of the day and night, they get paid well, and then really kind of bringing in a production crew to support that, and they're the backbone of all the work that all the artists do. They really sit there day to day. We're the ones that make sure everything gets done day to day, and that everybody's happy along the way.
If I can summarize, we have this plan and we go, can we do this? And she goes, no. Or she says, now you can.
That's true.
what she wrote. Even, I'm going to answer this a little bit more, even more than that. Again, we were a startup studio. And not just a startup show, we were a startup studio. So it lured people away from other jobs that were guaranteed another year or 2 or 3 of employment.